Business will be, I need a clerk pro tem. Mr. Cronin is on a work assignment this evening.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to nominate Mrs. Donahue to be the clerk pro tem.
Isn't it your turn?
No?
Second.
All right, motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain?
Abstain.
You're it. Thank you, Jane. I'm very happy. We're going to come out of order. Come out of order a little bit this evening. We have the chief with us, and I promised him that I'd take him first so he can get on with his business. So we're going to come out of order a little bit. We'll take citizens' participation after. First, may I have the roll call, please?
Sir, Mr. Chairman, 4 members of the Board of Selectmen are present. John Cronin is absent, and the interim town administrator is also with us.
We are extremely pleased as a board to have the chief with us. Chief Stanley, he has, in a very short period of time, in my personal opinion, done some wonderful things at the department. And I see there's plenty of representation from the department here tonight, which I think is a great thing. I think that one of the things that this board clearly, as an agenda, wishes to accomplish with the help of the chief is to greatly not only improve the relationship between the Board of Selectmen and the police department, but improve the standing of the police department in every possible way that we can. And I think we have an opportunity with Chief Stanley to take advantage of his experience and skills to help our police department as much as possible. And we have already committed to the chief that we will try and provide the resources any way we can and whatever help that he needs to assist him in creating a good working environment at the police department where our police can feel part of the community and can do their jobs with confidence. So I said a lot, Chief. I apologize, but why don't you go ahead and you have the floor and feel free to take your time.
First of all, I'd like to thank you, Mr. Chairman, and members of the Board of Selectmen for giving me the opportunity to be here this evening. It was only a few short weeks ago that I came on board and I stood here and told you that you had my word that I would not be simply a placeholder and sit back and keep the seat warm, that I was in fact going to work with the men and women of the Wareham Police Department, you as a board, and our town administrator, John Sanjanet. I have to tell you that you as a board, John as town administrator, and especially all the men and women of the Wareham Police Department have made that a very easy undertaking. I put together a slideshow, basically a PowerPoint presentation. I'm going to go through it fairly rapidly, but I provided all of you with a copy of it as well as Lieutenant Wallace and our union president, George Dion. And I look forward to working with them as we review some of these things over the next few days. I must say that if it wasn't for the assistance of Bill Philman, Officer Philman, over this weekend, this would not have come out like it did, and I think it's a good working document as we move forward over the next few months, as you prepare for a new police chief. First of all, the department structure is something that I'm still not comfortable putting down my opinion on, only because of the fact that the town had invested in November of 2002 with the Mass Municipal Association consulting recommendation, and I want to at least review that a little bit closer. So that is the one, and I wanted to hit it right away. That's the one area that I'm really not ready to discuss at this moment. How did I formulate some of the opinions, and how did I get to the point where I am right now and what I've done over the last few weeks with the help of the men and women of the department? I had initial meetings and observations, formal and informal observations, as well as findings and problems is what we're going to talk about firsthand. Who did I speak to? Town Administrator, Board of Selectmen, Lieutenant Chuck Wallace, who I must say has been a chief cook and bottle washer at that department with so much on his plate. I don't know how he did it. And Chuck, my gratitude personally to you, and I'm sure the residents of this community and the police department for the work that you have done over so long under difficult circumstances. Thank you. Also, Union President, spoke with him, who's in charge of Patrolman and Sergeants Union. Communications Union President, individual staff members who made themselves available, both at my request and on their own, coming into my office to speak to me at all hours of the day and night. Residents of the community, business owners, the school committee, I went before them and spoke to the school committee and the superintendent, who are charged with the responsibility of guarding our most precious assets, the children in this town. Supervisor staff meetings, we'll talk about some of those issues. Citizen groups, which I can't say enough about, both Crime Watch and CAPS. Both of them, we'll go into them as we go along, and also the news media, who has a hand in the future of the Wareham Police Department in this community. My findings: the staff was hungry for change. The staff really wanted that. So many people came to me with ideas and wanted to step forward into leadership roles within the police department. You as a community are so well off, you have no idea the individual talent in that police department willing to step forward and take on responsibility. All they want to do is be heard and step forward in whatever they have for a desire. They want to be able to explore that and work on it. This isn't a dress rehearsal. We only have one life to live. My job is to make sure that I give them that opportunity to step forward. I found that they maintained a good attitude under difficult circumstances over the last several months. That they were concerned about the Wareham Police Department image. They maintained a tremendous work ethic, and they had pride, integrity, and they are courageous. The reason I say they're courageous is this town is 40 square miles and is a difficult community to police, yet they have continuously maintained their courage, walking into situations where 2 officers or 3 officers are needed, and they did it alone. What were the problems I found, initial problems? Again, not a fault of the rank and file. There was a lack of communications within and outside of the Wareham Police Department. There was a lack of problem solving. All too often I heard, yeah, we know that's a problem. And when I asked what did we do about it, I was met with silence. A lack of a clear direction as an organization and a lack of leadership. That's where we had the problems. Communications, inside and outside Wareham, as well as defined. What is communications? The imparting or interchange of thoughts, opinions. Everyone has opinions. No one's opinion is wrong. It's their opinion. Opinions or information by speech, writing, or signs. Inside Wareham Police Department, how did I combat that? First thing I did was put up an internal formal memo system. Chief's memos, training memos, personnel memos, detective memos, so that we could maintain, and I promised the board that we would maintain a transparent organization, so that decision-making, which affects the lives of not only our residents, but in particular the men and women on the Wareham Police Department, we wanted to make sure that they understood everything that was going on, that leadership wasn't in a vacuum, that they had their opinions and they counted and they could bring those opinions forward. And they did that consistently. We had a staff meeting where the sergeants were brought in on September 18th. The last staff meeting was in 2003. 2003. I maintained an open door policy. I made myself available on all shifts, at all hours. I maintained a visible leadership with them, so that they felt comfortable as men and women, as my peers in law enforcement, to come forward to me with their issues. And I encouraged all officers to get involved, and get involved they did. Outside the Wareham Police Department, I made sure that I was able to speak with members of the media. We need some more visible public information officers so that we can get out there and get the work that we're doing out consistently, so that members of the community realize the good work that these men and women are doing on a daily basis.